I'm going to keep asking this today. What everyone has to ask is, how are we going to stop this kind of thing from happening in the future? And why was this happening to begin with? If you're in the camp that Epstein was blackmailing high profile individuals or working as an intelligence agent, doing that kind of thing, you got to ask, to what end? What were they trying to get? What were they trying to secure? Corporate deals, government money, which is taken from taxpayers, being funneled this place or the other place, buying compliance from foreign governments, buying compliance from our government on behalf of other governments. I don't know. There's so many people involved that are still involved in these governments, like including our government, expecting something massive to get released, like the thing that we're all looking for. This is probably not going to happen. Like, there's a lot of interesting things that came out over the weekend. None of it is prosecutable evidence at all. But the real problem that we're going to try to keep stressing, while we are going to go through many of the things that came out, the real problem we're going to try to keep stressing is the power structure itself. Maybe it's always going to exist. I have to accept, and we have to accept, that as long as that structure exists, as long as these people have a giant pool of stolen money that they're pulling from, as long as we're directing money to this company or this government or that government, the opportunity for this kind of thing to happen is always going to exist. Are you going to rely on the nice, benevolent angels inside the government to stop this kind of thing from happening in the future? That's not a good game plan. Maybe that would work like while your guy's in charge, and then the wrong guy's going to get in charge after that. We can focus on prosecuting people, but we got to rely on the people in the government to present that evidence and then carry out the prosecutions as well, like the same people who decided to hide this and then got forced to release it. And then many of them have also testified under oath that there is no evidence of any prosecutable offenses that exists, and we're still thinking that they're going to release some type of evidence that is strong enough to prosecute someone. If they do that, then a bunch of them either lied under oath or they're going to just show themselves to be complete idiots, or at least culpable in the whole thing by coming out and saying that they went through the files and couldn't find anything, basically trafficking to no one or no proof of anything like that happening. Like they'll destroy their careers if they actually release something that they could use in a court of law to prosecute someone. I just don't think it's going to happen. We're going to go through some of the information. None of the stuff I've seen from over the weekend is going to lead to any trials. None of it. I know some of it, you can put two and two together. You can make assumptions and stuff like that. None of the stuff that came out that I've seen is going to lead to anyone getting in trouble, to any kind of criminal trials, anyone going to jail, nothing like that. And a lot of it shouldn't. Got to realize that also. I know what we all think happened, what we all believe happened in this whole scenario, and we're probably right, but the evidence that's been shown to us, you wouldn't want that getting used in a trial anyway. Like email tip lines and phone call tip lines from people who provided fake names and fake callback numbers that told a story. Even if the stories are true, like, is that what we're going to go with? We don't have any secondary follow-up evidence on this corroborating this at all. That's I don't think that's a good idea to set the precedent that kind of just random tip is going to get used in a trial either. So yes, there were mentions of Trump in these files. That is true. That was one of the first big things that broke. Jake Tapper posted out this thing. We got some info on Trump, and it's many things that came in from different tip lines, and the stories are gross and terrible, and I don't have to read all of them to you, but they're accusations. These people here at age 16, here's people being sexually assaulted, here's things about someone biting President Trump while performing oral sex. Like, there's all sorts of stuff like that. And one of these, this is someone's friend. Their friend told them this, and so we're calling in this line, or we're giving this. It's just, some of these things could be true. Many of these things, I think, aren't true, or at least I just can't make any judgment on them. And they put notes in here, like, how do we get this information? Well, this is someone who called in. Did we try to call him back? Yeah, we did. The number doesn't work. or they didn't provide a name, or they didn't provide an address, or we never got back to them. Like, we just kept going to voicemail. No one ever got a hold of us again after that. So what are you going to do with this? It's perfect if you just want to believe a certain thing about a certain person. Like, there's information in here, especially if you want to decide that it was Trump that was involved in all of this stuff. Yeah, there's plenty of information you can decide 100% certainty is true. It's perfect for you on that. Or you can decide it's not true because of the things I just said. These are people calling in from tip lines. They were never able to follow up with the people. They gave information numbers that didn't work when they tried to call them back. And so you can say it's not true. Is there any like hard evidence? Just haven't seen it yet. You guys can let me know in the live group if you've seen someone post like actual hard evidence. Here's someone saying, we're going to commit this crime, and here's the person. Yeah, wasn't it great, that crime we committed last night? Yeah, for sure. Signed, here's my full name, and proof that it's me emailing. Has anyone seen anything like that so far? No, we haven't. And at the end of the day, it's sort of ridiculous when you think about it. Like, are they really going to release stuff that's going to lead to crime? Like, if this is such a big story, if it's the thing that we think it is, if there are foreign governments involved, if it's that foreign government, are they really going to release these things? No. Or they don't even have it to release. Or it was gotten rid of years ago. Or it never existed. We don't even know. That's the big problem here. And then you have to be so careful if you're like following along on X or any other social media platform and you're watching stuff that people are posting, you got to be super careful what you read and then believe, because things can look, it's actually pretty easy to fake an email. You know, it's a pretty easy thing to fake an email. And half the stuff I saw going around and things that had millions of views over the weekend just turned out to be false. They turned out to be, here's what happens. Posts about the Epstein files are getting tons of clicks. You can get paid pretty good money when you get tons of clicks and a lot of comments on things. So guess what? I'm just going to make one. And it's going to be, I found this thing before anyone else. And then it turns out it just wasn't true. I've seen so many things like that. I've seen so many AI generated photos going around online. This stuff, the waters have been muddied on this story. It's pretty crazy. Now, I want to get to Kash Patel real quick before I get to one of the craziest redactions that we'll talk about here in a sec. This is a video going around, had a lot of views, 22,000 reposts, which is a lot on X if you're not on X, of Kash saying that there was no credible information in these files, and they're claiming that this is him perjuring himself.
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Okay.
Now, there was one document that came out, but guess what? It was like a tip, and it was years after Epstein's death. It actually gave a specific place, actually have an address right here. And this is basically Special Agent Redacted, which I guess it's super important that we redact the name of that special agent, who says, I'm a threat intake examiner at the FBI National Threat Operations Center, which is where a lot of these tips come in. Let's go to the text. Jeffrey Epstein was bringing children to the Omni to human sex trafficking them out to rich business people. If you go to 901 East Carey Street, Suite 210, Richmond, Virginia, and the South State Bank on the top floor, there is a housekeeping door. I think inside the men's restroom, once you enter on the right. Inside, this should be a crawl space in the ceiling, a water faucet, and a wall on the right. The wall on the right behind the actual wall contains a passageway with an inscription about Gabe, a human trafficking victim that Jeffrey Epstein kept. I don't know what is behind the wall, but I remember as kids, we were both brought to this area and trafficked in and out of the premises along with other kids. this, for instance, like this is a good page. We follow this page. This is Being Libertarian. They say Kash, Patel, and Dan Bongino said Epstein wasn't sex trafficking children. That's weird. Here's an email saying he was doing it at this address. That's pretty specific. Are they this bad at their jobs, or did they get the talk from that country? I'm sorry. Like I want them to find this. I want the whole thing. This is a tip that was called in or emailed in September of 2022. And then that's it. That's all the information we have about it. We don't have anything else about this. And so what are we supposed to do about that? Say, well, yeah, obviously Kash Patel lied. Obviously Dan Bongino lied. Let's go ahead and do our impeachment, or let's go ahead and find them guilty of perjury or something like that. We don't have it yet. I'm sorry. I want it to be there. Now, this is a weird thing, and we keep seeing this over and over again, and it's redactions of people that obviously aren't victims. We have so many prominent names that are mentioned throughout the files, and then there are just some people that, for some reason, their names had to be redacted. I don't know why they had to be redacted, and especially with a weird email like this from, we don't know yet, but there is a video that I think has it right, to Jeffrey Epstein. I give you permission to kill him. He is apparently with redacted. He lied to you and he lied to me. That's weird.
Well, thankfully for all of us, the DOJ sucks at their job, and there's actually another version of that email that is less redacted, or more accurately, poorly redacted. Check this out. I give you permission to kill him. He is apparently with Olga. He lied to you. He lied to me. And you can kind of make out the name here to be one Susan Hamblin. Here's an enhanced image. You could read right there, Susan Hamblin. So who is Susan Hamblin? Well, she is evidently a financial advisor and founder of the adoption agency Kids to Families. Looks like the agency no longer exists, but I was able to find this archive in the Wayback Machine. At this point, we still don't know who Olga is, but according to reporting, it says that the only time the name has come up in the Epstein case is when his former lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, recounted getting a massage from a woman of the same name at Epstein's place. Now, interestingly, a few years ago, Susan Hamblin sued News Group Newspapers, the publisher of The Sun, who had printed that Susan Hamblin had groomed and procured a 16-year-old woman to be sexually abused by Epstein and told her that Epstein would kill her and her family if she told anyone what Epstein had done. They've since removed those articles and agreed to pay her a substantial compensation. But one Sue Hamblin can be seen in this photo with Jeffrey Epstein describing her to be his alleged assistant.
That photo looks fake, by the way. Does that photo not look fake?
Looks pretty fake.
It looks pretty fake. So I have a slight issue here.
As well as this photo of her leaving Jeffrey Epstein's New York City apartment, describing her as a long-term confidant. A lot of stuff going on here, but the lesson is that this is all information that the DOJ wants to hide from us, but thank goodness the internet is still undefeated.
So what we found out there, Shirley came in about halfway, is that from on the I give you permission to kill him appears to be Susan Hamblin, so founder of adoption agency Kids to Families. And so that's a potential thing.
That shouldn't be redacted. Well, they're probably going to say there's an ongoing investigation. So they'll be able to get away with it by saying, well, we're currently investigating this.
Mm-hmm.
When was this sent? 2014. Well, you've had 12 years.
Yeah. Got to look at, well, they reopened some investigations, like a week after the Epstein Files Transparency Act was passed. So they got to get into this stuff now. So then we got stuff about Elon Musk. Now, we talked about the stuff with Trump. My basic idea on the Trump stuff is it was a bunch of stuff that people called in or emailed into different tip lines. May be true, may not be true. Most of the things I saw where they tried to contact the person who called it in or tipped it in, they gave them like a fake number, a number that didn't work, didn't give a real name, didn't leave an address, couldn't follow up with the person, never got a hold of them, and that was that. And that could potentially be like the list of Trump stuff, which I don't want to read all of these things under the list of Trump stuff, but that list right there could potentially be a reason that he didn't want the files to come out. I don't know. There's some pretty bad stuff in there.
I'd be interested to see when. Like, what's the dates?
Of when they were
called in.
Called in?
I think that's redacted in the left-hand side, isn't it?
Well, those are names on the left-hand side.
Oh, name. You
that
really need
are-
a date, because if people were calling in when he was running for president or whatever, I mean,
Yeah. Well, a lot of them were around that time.
right, you could call in and say anything.
And that's the
So-
problem here, and that it's tailor-made for politics in 2026, because if you're a Democrat, you can say it's absolutely true, and if you're a Republican, you can say it's absolutely false, and that's great. There's nothing of any substance that has actually been released here, like verifiable, prosecutable evidence. I haven't seen a single shred of it yet. I'll start with this thing for Elon Musk here. From Jeffrey Epstein to Elon Musk, it says, how many people will you be for the heli to island? Elon Musk says, probably just Tallulah and me. What day night will be the wildest party on your island? Okay. All right. It's questionable.
Who's Tallulah?
I don't know. who
Was that his
Tallulah
wife at the
is.
time?
I have no clue. No idea at all. So Musk has ended up posting about this a lot, which actually he's been fairly quiet on the Epstein files since the whole blow up that he had with Trump, where he said that Trump was in the Epstein files and that's why they weren't being released.
So it was Musk's wife, whom she married and divorced twice. They were married from 2010 to 2012 and 2013 to 2016.
And I think it is important to note, I think that email I looked earlier was from 2012.
Yes, he was married to Tallulah Riley at that time.
He says
That's kind of weird, though. If you're going to go kids, you're going to bring your wife.
It's odd. It's a weird thing, but these people, rich people,
What's interesting about Elon's emails to me is that he was looking for like a party. It doesn't seem like nothing in there implicates him trying to look for underage girls specifically.
Well,
unless he knew what was happening on the island, and maybe, but then his wife is implicated too. I don't know. That's
the problem is, like, none of the emails implicate anyone in trying to look for underage girls. And now you can say that they have code words, pizza. If that's one of the, I tell you what, there's some weird back and forths about pizza. Okay. And I never got into the whole Pizzagate thing, but some of these people, they are extremely thankful for good pizza. They just are. Let me show you a couple things. They talk about it like just in a way that, I mean, Charlie, how many times have we had pizza together?
like,
Actual pizza. Yes.
oh, who knows?
A lot of pizza. Yeah. I have never once emailed you the next morning being like, thank you. That pizza was so great. I've just never, it never crossed my mind to do that.
The only thing you've ever sent me about like pizza was, hey, here's a Venmo for the pizza last night. Thanks.
Yeah.
You sent me $10.
I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza today. Thank you for letting us do that. Maybe like letting them go to a restaurant or a place and put it on his tab.
Now, does it
Thank you for letting us do that.
What's weird is also the whole Pizzagate thing with Podesta
That's what I'm saying.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there seems to be some correlation there.
Like, I don't know if you got to go back in time a little bit here, but I never emailed someone telling them to order pizza for someone immediately. I feel like that's more of a phone call. So you got a friend who's hungry, waiting for lunch or dinner right now, and you're like, oh, I hope this person's checking their email because I have to send a high priority alert to someone that they need to order pizza for this person. Doesn't say what kind, not what's on it, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Where from? No one knows. How big of is it just him? Is it just Bobby having the pizza? Do we need a large? Do we need a small personal pan? What's going on?
Where's the pizza is on the island? Does Pizza Hut deliver?
I'm not sure.
To this
Could
island?
be. Maybe they just have there's a pizza. The chef is making pizza and Bobby's staying in a room and says, order pizza for this guy. He just emailed me, said he wants pizza and wanted me to email you to tell you to order pizza for him. It's just a weird situation. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Yeah.
It could, yes, very well just be pizza. There's just, And then there's a weird thing with grape soda too. I don't know if you guys ever had pizza and grape soda.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, if you search the files, there's a lot of references to them wanting pizza and grape soda.
And so that email just said nothing can compare.
What?
What the email you just had up, it said nothing can compare.
Oh, I don't know. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. Let's see.
No one else can understand. What's the Chinese cookie part?
I'm not sure. This is better than a Chinese cookie. See attached. We can't see it's probably redacted. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. I don't know. And so many, what I realized looking through a bunch of these files today is like if you put on like your private investigator hat, and if you're looking for a specific thing, if you're looking for a certain thing, you can take almost any conversation and make it a secretive way of talking about the thing that you're looking for. Always. Like, can I look for this in this conversation? Well, yeah, it must be a code word, or when they're talking about ordering flowers for someone, or when, something like that, or when they're talking, I'll tell you this about the pizza. When you search pizza and a bunch of stuff does come up about ordering pizza, a lot of times it's actual pizza orders from very specific pizza places. Like around, so now I'm telling you that. And actually most of them look to pertain to actual pizza orders. Most of them did. Just so you know.
He emailed pizza, like Jeffrey
like they emailed
pizza.
No, they they did talk. They did a lot of stuff in email, man. I'm just telling you. It's a different time. Just a different time, I guess. Let's see here.
It's just the boomers.
Yeah.
The boomers and their emails.
Let's see. Oh, back on the Elon Musk, we were talking about that. Just a reminder, Elon Musk was asking about coming to your island on January 2nd. This is in 2013. And by the way, that would be after the email where he asked, like, what night the wildest party is going to be. Elon Musk was asking about coming to your island on January 2nd. Let's see. Actually, I could fly back early on the 3rd. Will it be St. Bart's? When should we head to your island on the 2nd? Yeah, that's from Elon Musk. There we go. I need to fly back to LA on the night of the 2nd. So, W?
So where's my pizza?
Yeah. What kind of pizza do you want? Do you prefer grape soda? The 2nd or 3rd would be perfect. I will come and get you. And so we still have like, okay, did he go to the island? Did he not go to the island? We don't have an email saying like, hey, the other night at your island was awesome.
Thanks for the pizza.
Thanks. Yes. Especially the pizza.
And grape soda.
Was great. This one was actually really funny, this exchange here. Any plans for New York? The opening of the General Assembly has many interesting people coming to the House.
Who's this to?
This is the Elon Musk. Elon Musk responds, says, I run and lead product design engineering for 2 complicated companies. Moreover, SpaceX is about to launch what is arguably the most advanced rocket in history. Flying to New York to see UN diplomats do nothing would be an unwise use of time. And then he responds back and says, do you think I'm retarded? Just kidding. There is no one over 25 and all very cute. Interesting. That's good.
Yeah, what does that mean? Is it possible?
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Sure it is. I would hate for that to be the case, but if it's the case, then all right. Well, let's see the documentation on it. Okay. Elon Musk said, no one pushed harder than me to have the Epstein files released, and I'm glad that has finally happened. Kind of, some of them, with many redactions. I had very little correspondence with Epstein and declined repeated invitations to go to his island or fly on his Lolita Express, but was well aware that some email correspondence with him could be misinterpreted and used by detractors to smear my name. I don't care about that, but what I do care about is that we at least attempt to prosecute those who committed serious crimes with Epstein, especially regarding heinous exploitation of underage girls. I will argue with Musk a little bit there. Thomas Massey pushed harder to have the Epstein files released than anyone, and he could end up losing his job because of it. But
then the part where he says decline repeated invitations to go to his island, there should be an asterisk there, which is like, I asked to go there like at least once.
Yeah.
So
but I didn't go. And
now
that's
you have plausible deniability that you didn't know what was happening back then potentially, but the problem is that wasn't Epstein. This is after Epstein's arrest.
Yep.
Right, because that happened in 2007 or 2008, where he was known for trafficking underage girls.
So this is exactly what this guy said right here, which is why he kind of lost Elon on this, or Elon kind of lost him on this one, because he said, this is what you would have said when you came out over the weekend to deny this. And I agree with this. This is what I think. Elon Musk should have said, look, I know these emails look bad. I honestly didn't know Epstein was a convicted pedo at the time. I thought he was just a financier party boy, and I got connected to him through this person. He invited me to his island. I heard there were some wild parties there, but I was not aware of anything illegal. I just thought I was going to blow off some steam anyway. Scheduling conflicts, blah, 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 prevented me from going. With time, I learned more about him and cut off communications. I'm for the full release of the files. But that's not what he said. That's what this person's pointing out. He's saying he refused invitations. You don't actually have any emails that have come out yet of him refusing invitations going to the island. It's him saying, why would I want to go talk to some UN diplomats? That's boring. Or him saying, got a scheduling conflict. I can't make it. What's the best day and time to go do this? And so we would still need to see here's me refusing. But there's still I said a bunch of this while you weren't in here. There's still no there. What is the thing that a prosecutor is going to show to a jury and say, here's what Elon Musk or
how
maybe
about
Bill Gates
corroborating witness testimony that you could use in conjunction with the circumstantial email evidence? I mean,
if they have that, yeah.
You don't think you can't get a jury to convict at least some of these people?
They probably could on that, assuming there's no statute of limitations on when they say the stuff actually happened.
I think they got rid of
that.
those.
Did they?
They got rid of those statute of limitations on rape.
So as long as there's no statute of limitations on that kind of stuff, a bunch of those tip lines, they say they tried to follow up and the numbers didn't work or whatever. And so, listen, I know what I think happened, and I am on the same page as you of what probably happened in this whole scenario. But I don't want to see someone get prosecuted based on a FBI tip line at
no, that's not what I'm saying.
York,
I'm saying legit, corroborate. There's a lot of witness testimony from Virginia. I think the girl who's now died committed suicide, allegedly. I guess
she died.
There's other witnesses who have claimed what seems to be credible things that happened to them. You could tie them back to the 2008, 2007, 2008 case or whatever. There's a way in which you could probably get to pretty close to the truth with some of the witness testimony that seems credible, and matching that up with correspondence with the emails and things like that. Prosecutors go to trial with less, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. And then not only that, but you could, with that information, you could do a deeper dive investigation into bank accounts, money transfers, all sorts of things that could reveal additional evidence by getting subpoenas and warrants. But they are not doing that. You don't see look at who's the CEO of JP Morgan, whatever his name is.
Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon. We're issuing a search warrant. We're confiscating all of his electronic devices and, going through his house because of this witness testimony and this pieces of evidence that we laid before a judge and they, issued a warrant. Why are we not seeing that? At least do an actual investigation into some of these claims that are most credible. And then maybe you get Jamie Dimon to crack, you offer him immunity. Be like, hey, what else can you offer us here? And then you can actually, make some legitimate arrests of powerful people. Otherwise, you've lost the trust of the public. Without prosecuting some people, you've completely lost the trust of the public because they know that there was an underage sex ring operation happening on Jeffrey Epstein's island. They know it's true. And you're repeatedly lying about it, and they will never trust you again. Ever. You've lost all credibility with the American public. And that is massively damaging for powerful people in government.
I think
You can only suppress it for so long
yeah.
before it turns on you.
I think the ship has sailed on that, relying on this government to do that or any government to do that. And then, I always have to remember if all the parts of the conspiracy are true, like the intelligence asset parts of the conspiracy are true, they're never going to look into any of it. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to get this information. It's not going to. It's like expecting the government to release information showing that they killed JFK. That's ridiculous. They're not going to do that.
Yeah,
they're not going to do it at all. And so, if the evidence did exist, they burned it and they murdered everyone that had anything to do with it. They're buried out in the damn desert. That's just it's just not going to happen.
and they sent emails saying, "Giving you permission
Yeah,
to kill this person, and afterwards, I'll send you a pizza."
exactly. Just ain't going to happen.
You like grape soda?
It's too sweet.
Compliment
I
to
don't want
pizza,
it.
man. I'm telling you.
I just can't do it. I feel like it would overtake the pizza flavor. But here's a weird email from Jeffrey Epstein to Michael Wolff, sent in October of 2017. I assume you already know that the original funder for the dossier was Rubio.
Like Marco Rubio?
Not sure why it seems so mysterious. That's weird. That's the only thing that pertaining to this that I've found at all. I did actually go find this on the DOJ website because I saw a video going around about it. I'm like, I don't know, this seems made up. I don't know, man. But no, that's there. But it's the only thing I can find about it. So now what? Secretary of State / whatever else. He's probably president of Cuba and Venezuela by now. He's running USAID. He's the national security advisor.
Yeah.
So it's, oh man.
Are we left with more questions than answers now that this has all come out?
There are no answers.
Yeah.
None of this is new information. Trump was good friends with Epstein. There's a bunch of questionable stories about him. Musk had correspondence with Epstein. We still don't know whether or not he actually went to the island, did anything.
Bill Gates seemed to be good friends. It's possible Melinda might have divorced him.
We know
over
about Bill
getting an
Gates.
STD.
There was a story about him trying to slip her antibiotics or something like that. I forgot to bring that up because I feel like this. We all know about the Bill Gates thing. Like that's, But has there been actual factual evidence that's been brought up? You might get some witness testimony, maybe something like that. I guess if you wanted to go after him, the Clintons, they didn't show up to Congress to give any testimony. What was that? 2-3 weeks ago? I don't remember specifically when that was, but they ignored a subpoena.
They said, "Yeah, I'm not
testify,
coming,"
and they just didn't go. And so now they're meeting about that this week to see if they're going to bring up charges
on a former president.
And so, just so you know, that's actually the most likely scenario. Not that Bill Clinton gets charges for child grape soda.
Is it all making sense now?
That's not it. If anyone gets charges, it's going to be because they failed to comply with a subpoena to come testify about something. That's the only thing anyone ever gets in trouble for.
Or they lie to Congress.
Perjury, whatever it's called when you don't comply with a subpoena, contempt of Congress or something like that. Those are the only things anyone's going to get in trouble for. That's all I see happening here.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to continue on? Because I have a hard stop.
Let's go. I'm going to
keep the mystery going until the next show.
I've got some stuff with Israel.
Wednesday.
We could do. Oh no, neither one of us can tomorrow.
Nope.
Oh, it's a big day.
Wednesday's a big day.
Wednesday could be a fun show.
But I do have to go, so you're going to have
to
to wait until Wednesday to find out what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day.
But wait, there's more.
So, all right, if you enjoyed today's episode, share it around. Leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, the bell, and subscribe to the channel, please. Visit the links in the show notes to support the sponsors that support this show. We appreciate that more than you know. If you do all of that, we'll be back again
That rhymed nice.
on Wednesday for some potential hot tea. But to get the hot tea, you're going to have to be in the Fed Haters Club. So join gml.com.
Yep.
For the pre-show. Join gml.com. Do all that or don't. I don't really care, but Nate does. If you do, we'll be back again. Hope you have a good day and a good morning, Liberty.